This is a video by REITspro.com. Do pause and read the disclaimer before proceeding. This is an educational video only. And if you are new to REIT and InvIT investing, I suggest that you do watch the video which has a thumbnail as given here on our channel itself. That will give you a complete picture of what REITs and InvITs are all about. SEBI has recently classified REITs as equity. I'm Gaurav Jain and I'm an author and a trainer for REITs. And the story goes like that before September 25, REITs were a hybrid instrument and InvITs were also a hybrid instrument. Now REITs alone have been reclassified as equity. And this is a book which you can take, which is on real estate finance, which is available on Amazon.in. And I will, in the course of the video, also point out a couple of other resources so that you are very equipped with understanding REITs and InvITs. We have a lot of resources which I will outline a little by little as we go along the video also, and explain this whole concept of hybrid versus equity classification in REITs. So September 25, REITs were reclassified as equity and InvITs retained their hybrid classification, but there was no change in taxation. This is a very important point, that the taxation had earlier been changed as per equity only, and the holding period and rates everything were very much in line. Though, of course, REITs do have some tax advantages. For that, do look at the other resources we have. But the essential part is that the classification in equity has been done, which has had an impact on things like the cap in MF. So before September 25, there was a 10% cap in mutual funds holdings, AUMs that they had. They could not invest more than 10%. And this reclassification into equity has removed this AUM cap for REITs. Similarly, InvITs have retained the classification. So earlier, that 10% cap, which was there for both REITs and InvITs, now InvITs can use that full 10% capping. Now, REITs has become equity. So one of the big things now is that they can be included in equity indices. And also they could be included in ETFs and passive funds. That's a very major change. But as we go along, we'll see how it does or does not impact you. So the markets have reacted. And like I said, we will give you some more resources as we go along. So this is a REITs and InvITs book. You can buy it on Amazon. So the prices moved up when the markets reacted to this news, and all these 5 REITs which are listed moved up. The price moved up 5.7 or 8% following this announcement. Now, is the reaction justified? So let's see where we get the REIT returns from. The REIT return comes from rent. And of course, the rent increases over time because there are clauses of built-in appreciation in rentals, like in properties. Secondly, because the rentals increase and other factors also play, then commercial property rates increase too over a period of time. And third very important source, which we tend to overlook but should not, is that they are very tax efficient instruments. So a large part of it becomes tax efficient. Of course, the period and rate, there has been no change. It was brought in line with normal equities tax, but there are nuances which one should look at before understanding what the tax efficiency means, for which we have resources like these. So there are pre-recorded content, books, videos, and blogs, and some free downloads. And you can go to our REITspro.com and see all these resources. So the reality check is that the MF AUM is about 75 lakh crore today in India, and 2/3 of it is equity. So including REITs in equity, we have a REIT AUM of 2.2 lakh crores only. So few MFs also reached this limit of 10% earlier. For example, very less PPA, very less mutual funds invested in REITs. Example is the Parag Parikh fund, which has a 9% or so AUM in REITs as of August 25. And reality check, as far as the institutional participation is concerned, is that when we have such large numbers there and the AUM is of REITs is so small, what will be the price volatility? In case a fund house starts buying or selling equity in large numbers, REITs in large numbers, what will happen to the price? There will be a lot of price volatility. So that is one thing that will happen, which could be a negative. Now, institutional participation, therefore, I feel may have to wait for a market maker or a larger REIT market and much more players and more REITs also in the market. Similarly, we should see what a retail participant can gain or lose out of this. So buying REITs is extremely important by considering the yields and the fact of them being tax efficient. So these two things are extremely important. These two things have not changed as of now. And the MF route is obviously something that could change a little because more mutual funds could participate as we have just discussed. Now, retailers, if they wish to do an SIP in REITs, then that may or may not work, because what happens in case of an SIP strategy is that you tend to average out prices over time because you're depending mainly on the capital gains on realization. Here, a large part of it comes from recurring returns. So if you were to look at it, say about 100 rupees if you are getting, then 50, 60 rupees you will get out of the recurring returns, and 30, 40 rupees you will get out of the increase in prices, and about 20 rupees or so you will get because of the taxation. It's just a very rough calculation. So the averaging may not really work out that well when you do an SIP in REITs, because you're not depending on only the price appreciation here. And the last part is that how, as a retail participant, you should invest. You should have a mindset like a property investor. So you should be prepared to wait for some time. Understand that these are yield products and they're not trading instruments. And lastly, you should definitely look at the post-tax returns and what is your yield. These three things should make up your major decision, in my opinion, on how you understand and value REITs. And reclassification into equities will really not change the way you are bound to think on these aspects. So thank you so much. Do connect with us on WhatsApp, Telegram. Visit our channel, REITspro.com. We will have a lot of resources, and do subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.